Welcome to the Business of Apparel Podcast. This is the place to learn how to start and scale your own apparel brand and fill it with loyal customers for years to come. I'm your host, Rachel Erickson, owner and CEO of Unmarked Street, and I can't wait to share this episode with you. Welcome back to the Business of Apparel Podcast, where today I am going to tell you how you can double your revenue by doing half the work in your apparel brand. And I can kind of sum this up in just one sentence. Reduce the size of your apparel line. That's it. And so maybe this is where we should just end today. Reduce the size of your apparel line. Goodbye. I'll see you next week. Okay, let's dive into this a little bit more. Now, I've been talking about this a little bit on the podcast already. It's a process called SKU rationalization. I dug into that process quite a bit a few weeks ago, so you can go back and re-listen to that podcast episode for getting really, really in depth. But what we're seeing is this phenomenon where when you evaluate your data and you focus first on the items that are in your line that are producing the revenue that you need. So again, if you are producing 70% of your bottom line revenue with one single style, and maybe you have 10 different colors of it and you offer it in 7 different sizes, but it's doing 70% of your business, why on earth do you have 100 other items in your line burning out your team, taking up all their time, making them scramble, making your team totally feel like they don't want to work for you anymore? What are you doing? This is what I am asking you this week because I want you to understand that it doesn't make sense. The numbers don't make sense for you and your line. The numbers don't make sense for you and your team. The numbers don't even make sense for you and your customers. Your customers don't understand what they're shopping for when they come to your website because if you got too much crap on there, you have way too much product in your line. Now, if you're already a $1 billion brand and you're making billions of dollars by selling hundreds of different products, you can ignore me today. This is not the message for you. And if you're running a $1 billion brand, you've figured this out by now, right? You probably actually have a SKU rationalization process built into your annual timeline, and you and your team are actually looking at the products that are losing you money every single week, every single month, every single year, and you're eliminating them. If you're a $1 billion brand owner already, you have the courage, you have the decision-making power, you have the way to no longer keep products that don't serve your bottom line in your brand. So SKU rationalization is a process that we get a ton of questions on through our community. A lot of people don't understand it. We've actually had people raise their hands, come to some of our sessions and say, we think this is way too elevated. This is not something that we should be doing for our brand. We're just a startup. We don't think this is actually even relevant to what we're doing for our brand. And I'm going to tell you right now that that is absolutely not true. Even if you have one product in your line, let's say you just have one product in your line, but you offer it in 3 different colors and you have 6 different sizes, you can still run a SKU rationalization process to discover what your losing SKUs are. So that's what we're doing here. We are discovering your losing SKUs so that you can eliminate them and focus on the winning SKUs in your line. I've heard other people call this like, get rid of the products that are collecting dust in your warehouse. Get rid of the items that your customers don't understand or don't want. And we are going to start to call it weeding out the waste of your apparel line. Now, 1 week from today, I'm actually recording this in early July. We are going to be releasing this episode on July 17th. On Friday, July 25th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern for 90 minutes, we are going to be hosting a SKU Rationalization Workshop where you can come ask all of your questions about this process. We will help walk you through what it looks like to do this process. We will also be gifting you our line sheet template. So if you haven't gotten your hands on that yet, although there are some Easter eggs in previous podcast episodes where you could absolutely already have that for free, but we are going to be re-gifting that to you while we are going through this process, teaching you how to read your numbers, how to organize your numbers, how to organize your data. All of this is really important. And so if you want to be doing double the revenue that you're doing today by doing half the work, this is a process that you must learn to understand. And what you are going to do is discover your losing SKUs so that you can discover your winning SKUs and then weed out that waste. Just like growing a garden or just like planting something in your yard, if there are weeds all around it, those weeds are sopping up all of the nutrients from the soil. They are taking away the opportunity for your flowers, your trees, your plants, your vegetables, your fruits to be getting the water and the sunlight that it needs, because those weeds are maybe growing too tall and it's casting a shadow on the plants that you really care about. And so that's why we call it weeding out the waste, because just like I spent a couple hours the other weekend, I hadn't done weeding in my yard for a while, so that's why it took a couple hours. But I went through and I took up all the weeds. I pulled out all the weeds in my yard, and all of a sudden the plants started to flourish again. The flowers started to bloom again. My tree that's in my front yard all of a sudden looks a little bit taller. The leaves look just a little bit greener. Everything gets amplified in the way that it should if you don't have the weeds sitting there taking up your team's space, taking up your team's time, taking up their energy. These are the important reasons why you need to run these kinds of processes. And so we are going to run this workshop for you again. We ran it last October. We've run it before. It is our most popular workshop that we run. We have turned it into a masterclass. So this workshop is not going to be free this time around. It is more valuable to your brand than anything else you can possibly learn out there. Are you sick of being stuck on the sidelines of the apparel industry and you just want to be put in the game? Then join our 100% free workshop, Secrets Behind Billion-Dollar Apparel Brands, and learn the strategies, tactics, and secrets used by the most successful companies in the world. We'll cover everything from setting your brand standards to big brand line planning and executive level processes. In this workshop, you're going to learn how to name your target customer, rationalize your line, calculate product margins, roll up your revenue, and see potential profits while figuring out how to build a unique calendar for your brand. You're going to learn that and so much more. Are you ready to take your apparel business to the next level? Sign up today and use code PODCAST for a 10% discount on the full Business of Apparel online course or any of our mini courses after the workshop. Visit www.thebusinessofapparel.com/secrets to register. Don't miss out. If you've been going to a bunch of free workshops and you've been trying to learn a bunch of information for free and you're absorbing all this information, but you don't understand the whys, you don't understand how to implement it, that is why this workshop is going to be completely different. If you come to this workshop, you pay the $29 fee that we're asking you to pay for a ticket, you learn how to implement this inside your brand, it will save you thousands of dollars every single year, if not more. If you're a bigger brand, it will save you millions of dollars in your brand, and then you will start to make more. So how do I know that this happens, right? I've seen the proof. When I was working at my last corporate job, I learned this process. You guys may have listened to the podcast episode where I brought Sarah White on. If you haven't listened to that one, that's another great one to go back and listen to. Sarah was my mentor when it came to learning SKU rationalization, and I learned it from her in my last corporate job. And we started to implement it into our 400 product line at the company. Now, I was managing 400 different products, which meant thousands of different SKUs that I was managing every single year for this product line. And when we started to really evaluate the numbers, understand what our losers and our winners were, we were able to eliminate the part of the line that was actually costing our team so much time, costing our business money. And then we were able to put a much bigger and better focus on the winning SKUs in our line. We started talking to marketing more about them. We started to get out more information to our customers, to our community. Sales got amplified, and we went from a $25 million brand. We were a $25 million brand like the entire time that I was there. I was at the company for 5 years. And so in the first 4 years, we were stagnant. We were not able to grow. $25 million, $25 million, $25 million, $25 million. And you're probably going, that's amazing. I would love to be a $25 million brand. Well, now imagine in the last year, because you implemented a SKU rationalization process and you figured out what product was actually driving your business. Now you go to a $60 million brand. And that's what we did. I saw the proof in the pudding. It actually works. And we've now been able to implement this inside our clients' businesses as I've started on Mark Street and left that corporate role. And we're seeing the same results. People are doubling or almost tripling their revenues by doing this work. So I want you to know that there are solutions out there for you if you are running an apparel line that is struggling right now. And I know many of you are. I am keeping my eye on so many of you out in the space. A lot of you are starting to announce that you're struggling. You are closing your doors. You're having super sales. You're trying to get rid of inventory. You're trying to figure out what to do about the tariffs. Let me tell you that this is a process that you can learn in an afternoon. You can go back the next week, ask your team to help you implement it, or you can implement it yourself. And all of a sudden, now you have a strategy that is going to help you regrow again. You do not have to be at a plateau or on a decline right now. I understand the economy's tough. I understand customers are probably pinching pennies. At the end of the day, this is going to sound harsh, but those are all excuses. If you are not doing all of the work that you can do inside of your brand to make sure that you have the right product mix, you have no excuse to come forward and say that the economy is the reason that our business is struggling. Our customers are the reason that the business is struggling. Tariffs are the reason that our business is struggling. There are different resources out here for you to be able to learn, implement, and then grow your company again. So I absolutely invite you to come join us next Friday. You can go to thebusinessofapparel.com/SKU. That is where you will be able to find a registration page to buy a ticket to come to our masterclass, where we are going to teach you exactly what you need to know about why this works, how it works, and then genuinely how to do it. We are going to walk you through step by step how to do it. This is not fluff. This is not high surface level information that we're just going to be spitting out to you, telling you, oh yeah, this is some great information that you need to know. No, we are going to dig in and tell you how to actually do it. And if you bring some information with you, we will do a Q&A and you can ask us all the questions that you need to ask. This is an opportunity for you to do something that not many other brands are doing. Only the tippy top of the apparel brands out in our industry are doing this process on a regular basis. And even very few of them are doing it right or doing it well. I learned from a master. I got to see how it actually works. I got to implement it, and I have gotten the chance to see it work over and over and over again. When it gets to that point, you know that the numbers work. You know that the science is there. You know that the testing proof is there. And I want to give this to you now for all of $29. So please come join us next week. I encourage you to please bring a teammate if you want. If you want to bring a teammate, you can reach out to me. You can put a comment below, or you can email us at hello@unmarkstreet.com. And you can say, hey, I really want to bring a team member. Can my $29 extend to them too? And I'll probably say yes to you. So let me know. I really want to see you there. I want you to stop feeling like you're struggling in this industry. There are resources for you to help you figure out how to get to the next stage, break through that plateau, and continue your growth. If this episode was interesting to you at all, please leave us a review. Again, we love to hear from our community, so leave us comments. And we just gave you our email address, so feel free to email us with any questions, comments, anything that you want to talk through. We love to hear it, good, bad, everything in between, because even the negative comments and the hateful comments help us understand what maybe we're doing wrong and what we could be doing better. So if we don't know what's broke, we can't fix it. Please feel free to reach out to us anytime, and thank you so much for being here with me this week. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening to the Business of Apparel podcast. I would so appreciate hearing your thoughts on the show. And if you know someone who could benefit from it, please share it with them. My biggest desire is to help other apparel professionals understand the nuances of our industry so we can all work toward making better product for a better world. If you would like to connect further, I'd love to invite you to send me a message through my website, thebusinessofapparel.com, where I do weekly trainings through my YouTube video channel, a weekly newsletter, blog articles, and so many more resources to help you start and scale a profitable apparel brand. This podcast is produced by Box 7 Media, who I cannot speak highly enough of. If you're looking to start your own podcast, you can reach out to Jeremy at Box 7 Media on LinkedIn anytime.